We've run 2 match play championships, and the fans love match play. Head-to-head matches, 16 MPO, 16 FPO.
Match play is going to be a good format for both of us, I think, just to showcase our skills and be aggressive.
I can hope he plays bad and not feel bad about it.
And vice versa.
Well, it's time for match play once again on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. A brand new format here in 2025 as we welcome you to Kansas City. We'll be at Bad Rock Creek Disc Golf Course this weekend for the Kansas City Wide Open. But first, match play here on Thursday in Liberty, Missouri. Awesome stuff. Can't wait for the matches that we get here. A beautiful day, a little bit of rain, some storms this morning, softening up the ground at Bad Rock Creek as we check in on the Canna current conditions. 63 degrees out there, light wind and sunshine. As we welcome you inside of our broadcast booth. Hi, everybody, and welcome in. A little bonus disc golf this week as we get started with the match play. Alongside Brian Earhart, I am Charlie Eisenhood. Brian, match play, it's a whole different ball game. We get to see kind of a little more personality from players, and also it's just like a little bit more fun as a way to get things started for the weekend.
Yeah, and these Disc Golf Pro Tour seasons are very long, and now we have players going coast to coast in the United States, and now it's almost feeling like a given that everyone's going over to Europe, coming back to finish out the season. It's great to give players an opportunity to just let go, not worry about rating.
Play the first set of match play matches back at the Music City Open, but they got rained out. So just some basics on what is match play. All you have to do is complete a hole in fewer shots than your competitor. If you do so, you win the hole. It doesn't matter if you win by a stroke or 3 strokes on a hole. It's simply about beating your opponent on that hole. If you tie, we call that having the hole, and you're really just trying to run the opponent out of opportunities to catch you as you win more holes than them.
It's so exciting not having to worry about all 18 holes. You get to worry about every single hole individually. There's always a new opportunity to take a point in a player, no matter how bad the previous hole is.
So the way this is going to work, we've got groups of 4 players. They're going to play round-robin World Cup style over the course of the season. The top 2 players in each group will advance to the championship. That's going to be happening in November in Charlotte in a bracket-style competition, a lot like what we used to see on the Pro Tour, a straight bracket for the Match Play Championship.
I also love just looking at the list of courses that we're playing. All of these are so locally loved by the community, and with this being moved to Kansas City, the players who play Bad Rock Creek are beyond excited to see people coming out here.
We're starting with FPO this morning, so let's just focus on that side of the ledger. What's your group of death, Brian?
I think today you have to look at Ella and Holland. Best friends, they've competed against each other multiple times for the win, and Ella got the win earlier this year at Olympus. I think it's going to be an exciting match. That's my pick.
There's a look at group number A. It is our feature group. And we'll see Ella versus Holland, as you mentioned. And then local Kansas City native Allie Smith taking on Deanne Carey. It's going to be a blast. We'll see them later on this season in Europe and then later in Vermont. Let's focus in on this Ella and Holland matchup. Best friends on tour. Both tremendous players. Holland's had the edge over the last couple of seasons from a performance perspective, but we know that Ella has won on tour and certainly maybe a little psychological edge. She was the first to win on tour before Holland.
She was the first to win, and I think when it comes to match play, there's a different mindset you have to bring to the table competitively, and maybe we're going to see certain strengths come out in Ella today.
They're getting ready to go. Holland with some early psychological warfare here.
Well, there's a little physical warfare
Dominance
too, maybe
displayed.
Bruise up the lower body and make it a little tough for her to play. But I think these two are looking forward to putting on a show on camera for us.
Well, we're getting ready to go. Tee number 1. It gets pretty windy out here at Bad Rock Creek, and that definitely changes this course. A new course here on tour. let's send it down right now. It's time for introductions for the Match Play Championship first round. Own Scoggins right there getting set to take on Kat Murch. We will also see Ellie Mittling taking on Katrina Allen in a veteran versus not quite a rookie, but one of the youngest players on tour.
First on the box, we have Own Scoggins.
Man, okay. Don't want to go first, but it is what it is.
And look at the wind gusting already so early. Own almost won this tournament last year. Lisa Fake is the champion at the KC Wide Open, but Own right behind her.
Oh, that needs to see it. Well, we'll see.
And next up on the box, we have Kat Murch.
Okay. Woo, 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 woo. Huh?
Very interesting hole one.
Not going to be reachable off the tee for the FPO. There's a short landing zone, a secondary landing zone, and then the green. So a shallow hyzer is going to put you in play. The safer you are, the farther away from the pin you're going to get.
And the next match, we have Katrina Allen.
Kat Murch potentially a little out of position up against that tree.
Well, yeah, you want to hug this OB on the right side because of how windy it is. These touchy shots are going to be tough to stick.
Next up on the box, we have Eliezra Midling.
Could be trouble over there for Kat.
It's going to be just a little bit annoying. Ellie might have a little temptation, but I see her maybe going for the secondary landing zone if the wind is right. Looks like we have a little tailwind.
All right, so our first pair of groups is off as Mittling skips out safe into that deeper landing zone. We're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. Match play continues.
At Pound, the quality of our gear runs deeper than the stitching. That's why we make everything right here in the US, employing highly skilled, well-paid professionals. From bomb-proof Cordura fabric to YKK zippers and recycled plastics, we source the highest quality US materials to make the most comfortable, durable pack in disc golf. Our lifetime warranty stays with the pack, not the purchaser. So regardless of how you find us, we will be here to make sure your pack stays on the course and out of the landfill. Pound's integrity is held together with more than just thread.
The Disc Golf Pro Tour Match Play Championship is presented by Pound Disc Golf, one bag for life. Second shot's coming up on hole one. Own Scoggins taking on Kat Murch. Katrina Allen taking on Ellie Mittling.
It's a tricky short par 4. Big drop off behind the basket. It's hard to stick the green itself. It's pretty small.
There's a good amount of space behind the basket out to the OB beyond circle 2, but it's not really where you want to end up.
No.
Back towards the water.
And you're likely to lay up a putt from there if you're outside the circle. Oh man, helicopter to the green and still gets the slide deep. I like the play going straight at the basket though. And that's what's going to be tricky today. You want to throw it higher and really land it soft, but with this wind, you can't really trust that. Still, tough headwind look, but an opportunity for the 3.
So Cat a little pinched. Obviously has the open forehand look.
I like to play down left side, stay away from the OB. And now for Own, I'm wondering if she has something. If you try to go safe down the left side, you have to play with those trees.
Yeah, you wonder. I mean, of course, it's match play, though. So she sees Cat possibly obstructed on that left side.
Mhm.
Will she play more conservative shot here? First up, Mittling. Skips right down there near where Katrina is.
And now you're going to see Ellie more than likely not run this putt. But we'll see. She's young. She might be thinking, I have to get this putt. I have to make this. Experience in the format definitely plays. That's got to keep coming.
Very high in the air and in the drink for Own. And that should go ahead and wrap up hole 1 for her.
And these matches are going to go quick, especially with things like this. Kat can just lay up, take her par, move on. Own doesn't have to even try because she didn't touch land, and that's pretty much an automatic bogey.
So Own lying 3. I guess you just try to throw it in here.
Yeah, you throw it in. Do your best.
So you see, again, just never had a chance. Popped it up a little too much in the air.
Oh, I'd love to see some fireworks early.
Here we go. Got to try to throw this in.
Not bad. But that's just going to be a pickup for Own. I think Kat's going to be able to pretty easily get up and down.
Here we are in Kansas City. The Kansas City Wide Open starts tomorrow. Brand new stop on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. It was on the Silver Series 2 years ago, and it was a Q Series qualifying event last year. And this Bad Rock Creek course has been kind of getting put together for this moment for the last few years. Kat does just pitch up. She has a tap-in par to win the hole.
And when you come to Kansas City, this is not a new thing to have the pros come out here. This is the 43rd Kansas City Wide Open. It was a national tour a long time ago when that was still a thing for the PDGA. These guys know how to run a tournament out here.
Ellie not going to run it. So an opportunity for Katrina if she wants to take it.
It's going to be a bit of a tough putt with the wind. You got the OB behind the basket. But I think with the tailwind they had off the tee, I think Kat's going to have a nice wind to kind of shove this into the basket. Just got to put
win
a little,
the hole.
Yeah, a little bit more height on the putt. Shoved right out of the hand, but no worries. And there's no pushes here. It's not going to like load up to the next hole. Next hole's not worth 2 points. Single points per hole.
So Allen and Mittling will have hole 1.
Sometimes a match play inside the bullseye. Yeah. People just pick up.
And a pickup there for Scoggins as Kat Murch wins the hole and goes 1 up. We're going to take a quick break. We will have Holland versus Ella and Deanne versus Allie coming up in just a moment.
haven't owned an electric guitar ever, so now I'm like extra double soaked. And now I need an amp.
Katrina Allen teeing off first on the second, all square with middling.
See the basket just nice off in the distance. Got to stick the island. Ooh, and a pirate flag.
Ooh, pirate flag.
That's going to be just fine for Ellie Midling.
Should be an easy win here on the second hole for Midling. Merch to the forehand. It's not a Mando through those posts.
I love the play with the forehand here. You see that crosswind. She's able to kind of fight against it rather than getting blown away. Pressure's on Own now. Can't go down 2-2.
Looks like that came up short. So another shot kind of getting stuck up in the air a little bit there for Scoggins.
And just for those of you who have not seen match play, if Kat Mertz starts to run away with it, if they get to, 12 holes or so and she already has, 10 points, she can just end the match. The game's over. Obviously, we're not saying that that's happening now, but the pressure does definitely mount if you get behind early.
So Katrina just pitches up. Interesting choice there from Katrina, actually, not to really run that.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess she's kind of betting that the person... I guess you're not betting on anything. You're betting that they three-putt.
Yeah, I'm surprised at the lack of a run there.
I feel like as a veteran, though, she thought to herself, I don't deserve this.
I'll just take the L.
I'm going to take the loss. You got to throw a better shot next time.
Own in for the birdie. So she was clear over that wall, I take it. And that means that Kat has this to have the hole.
When the wind is picking up like this, bullseye putts are even scary.
So Midling wins the hole. And you are going to see players picking up their disc and not necessarily putting the little tap-ins, concessions from their opponent. So we've got Holland and Ella, Deanne and Allie set to tee off right after this.
So no way! You talking about superhero stuff? There's a flying Kev man.
I knew Levi before Pound was a company. He wants it to be perfect. And I think he's the kind of guy that nothing's ever perfect. At this point, I don't think anyone's disputing that it's the best bag ever made. It's the most comfortable bag that I've ever worn. Most tough and well-built and long-lasting thing that I'd ever tried on.
Discraft built for flight.
Some of my favorite discs in my bag are the A-Series discs. They're the ones I lean on to get close to the basket, and each of them have a consistent grip. So as you cycle through the series, you won't have to change the way that you hold the disc. These are torque-resistant discs that are more stable than the PA series, provide a consistent fade at the end of the flight. The best way to find your flight is to get out and use these discs yourself.
Hello, we're Kenna. We're a Dutch growing company. We love plants and we want to tell you some cool things about them. Just like humans, plants can communicate. They can sense when another plant is close. Plants look out for each other too. They warn neighbors about nearby threats by secreting substances. And studies have shown that plants love a good tune. We love and understand plants. Let our passion excite you too.
At Pound, the quality of our gear runs deeper than the stitching. That's why we make everything right here in the US, employing highly skilled, well-paid professionals. From bomb-proof Cordura fabric to YKK zippers and recycled plastics, we source the highest quality US materials to make the most comfortable, durable pack in disc golf. Our lifetime warranty stays with the pack, not the purchaser. So regardless of how you find us, we will be here to make sure your pack stays on the course and out of the landfill. Pound's integrity is held together with more than just thread.
Can we get the lights?
Kansas City Wide Open is starting tomorrow, the 43rd edition, one of the longest running tournaments in the world. And it all begins at 9 a.m. Central Time tomorrow morning for the FPO coverage, live right here on the Disc Golf Network. 3-round event, and you got the broadcast times right there on your screen. We'll kick things off with Tournament Central, and of course there will be Jomez Pro lead card coverage next day all weekend long. Brian, brand new event to the Disc Golf Pro Tour. We were talking about it used to be an NT, but when it was an NT, they weren't playing on this Bad Rock Creek course.
There's so many to choose from when you come to Kansas City, and Bad Rock fits in just perfectly.
So our second set of matches getting set to start. Power players in Holland and Ella, and real different kinds of players in Deanne and Allie Smith.
Holland and Ella tee first, and then it'll be you, then me. Then when we go to 2, it'll be one of us.
Tee off first.
Whoever wins the hole, or if we push, it'd be you.
I'm just gonna do what they tell me to do. Yeah, we're gonna have to.
Allie's got it under control.
perfect. So.
Party.
That's your stool.
Deanne is just gonna be there to do whatever she's told to do.
And sometimes you just got to do that. It keeps your focus locked in. No room for logistics. It's just time for disc golf.
I never go in. I like it.
Well, if it's windy like this throughout the weekend, Brian, it's going to be tough birdies out here.
Really tough birdies, and we'll talk more about the design of the course as we get into the meat and potatoes, but wind just makes some of these power shots behind minis just really challenging to get right. Your footwork's got to be really tight out here. A lot of the touch shots come off the tee rather than in the fairway.
Welcome to the 2025 Kansas City Wide Open match play. Team first, Holland Handley.
Yay! Holland!
So Holland Handley ready to roll. She's going to be the favorite this weekend at the Kansas City Wide Open. But today it's all about going head-to-head with Ella Hansen.
Oh, there's definite pride on this match. I don't think either one of them will let the other live it down if they lose. Uh-oh.
Well, into the drink, and that tailwind may be pushing that more than she expected.
And that's the give and take, too. You got to...
We just heard her say she thinks it was safe. She's going to be unhappy to find out otherwise. Maybe just a little. Maybe she thinks it's in the water, but she's just telling Ella.
Oh,
that she
Ella,
thinks
that's
it's safe.
really good. That shot's real good. You're going to have to park the basket on this.
So Ella just needs to not go OB. And that is the safer play out to that wider left side.
Yeah, that's much better than throwing the driver and kind of cutting into those trees left. Oh, so it's looking like a tail cross to the right, which means that crosswind on 2 is there.
Deanne Carey is the best putter on tour this season. Allie Smith, one of the worst putters on tour, dealing with some yips. So that's going to be a really interesting component to this match, perhaps.
Well, with the wind the way it is, too, Allie does not get any advantage or get any closer to how Deanne's been putting.
Deanne, 91.9% C1X putting. That's a full 8% better than own Scoggins.
Oh, look at this ground play. That's safe. Wow. What a shot. And what's funny, up on this tee pad, they have no idea what this looks like.
This is a big downhill shot. Take another look. How did this stay safe? Whoa! Right along the shore and on the good side of the line. Well, let's flash it back. Allie Smith, Kansas City local, won this tournament back in 2023.
I was calling this event. It was so special. She was so emotional winning this tournament. She used to run cross country here in high school. She's very familiar with this property, and then to come back here after working so hard to get out there on tour, the win meant everything to her.
And there's the putt on 18 to take it down. Wasn't a full field, but she beat some very good players, including Holland Handley. And she's one to watch this week playing at home.
Absolutely. And she feels at home here. She's definitely rooted in the Kansas City disc golf world. And yeah, if she can just get the putter in the basket from C1, she's going to put up some great scores.
So Holland OB. Everyone else in the fairway. Ella doesn't even need to put this right next to the basket. She can still win this hole. Just needs to avoid going out of bounds here.
Just got to have a seat. That's going to be just fine. It's interesting, the flags here. So they have yellow flag and pirate flag, it appears. Yellow flag normally means hazard, but it means safe this week.
Pirate flag is the hazard flag.
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah, this is not a walk in the park for Holland either. This drop zone shot is not easy. Anything off the tee goes to this drop zone, and now it's standard OB after this. But it's still a decent ways away, and you're still dealing with that crosswind.
.260 to the pin from the drop zone.
This has got to have enough height. Big slip in the tee pad. She's going to be pin high, but that's going to be a tough look to save a par. Hole 1 already kind of showing us its teeth. You have to throw the tee shot into this little pocket on the left. The OB's pinching pretty tight up to that point. And then it's just a touchy little approach to this small green.
It is a runnable tee shot, particularly for MPO. We have seen some players in practice rounds this week going for the green in one. Oh no, Deanne Carey goes into the water.
Yeah, it looks like she's going to be walking the plank on that one. Pirate flag. That's rough on the second. Also not sure if she hit inbounds. She might have to be taking it from right there.
Very interesting hole 1.
And really for both divisions, I heard some chatter with the MPO that you could crash that second landing zone a little bit too easily, but then getting up to the pin is still not a walk in the park. You got to deal with a lot of trees. Allie going forehand.
Conservative play. Makes sense with Carey OB.
And we have to pay attention, though, like you mentioned about the putting seasons that both these players are having. An uphill headwind putt's not a gimme whatsoever, even if it's just outside the bullseye. And that's for any player. Deanne trying to land this soft. And that looks like...
So she's going to be coming back up the hill for bogey.
Yeah. I think Allie can lay up pretty confidently and take the hole. Uh-oh. Evan Scott on the bag, already dropping a putter. That's strike 1. Also got to just talk about all the work that's been put in here at Bad Rock. The city of Kansas City's rallying behind them. It sounds like a lot of money has been put into this place to make it look beautiful and make it worthy of a championship.
Yeah, $40,000 in donations from the community over the last 3 years alone. And all of the stonework we're going to see around the course, that's courtesy of a local stone company that is headed up by a disc golfer. And he donated all of this rock to build out these walls and greens and really beautify this course. Smart play by Ella. Leaves herself with a tap in for par, so Holland's got to run this. Allie can just pitch up as well. She's going to win the hole. So here we go. This to likely have the hole.
Just going to have to pop this on a little Annie and give it some height if she wants to go straight at it.
See a stiff right to left wind.
I thought the read was great. She just needed a little bit more to the left. Already dropping a hole to Ella. What are your thoughts on match play, Charlie? You a big fan of this format?
I think it's a lot of fun. This is to win the hole for Ella. And she is in, so she goes one up. And it should just be all set here. Allie will tap in, and she will go one up as well. let's go 2-3. Own Scoggins. This is to have the hole with Cat under the basket.
Oh, strong side. Playing the crosswind. Nasty is right.
Take another look. C2.
See how low she threw that to play the lift from the crosswind? That is elite wind putting.
So Murch remains 1 up after winning hole 1. And Mittling won hole 2. We saw that. They split hole 3. So they head to the 4th. So as Allie helpfully explained to us on the tee of hole 1, she's first after winning the hole, and she puts it on the green. How much of an advantage does Allie have, especially here in match play, playing on a course that she knows so well?
Really well. You know what a good play on a hole is and a bad play on a hole is. She knows a few different ways to get to the bucket. I also think having forehand and backhand out here is a big deal. And that's going to be safe. Another thing I appreciate about this course in general is how they've built up and manicured the FPO and MPO greens. The FPO play this island. The MPO play a more manicured green pushed back. But 2 separate bits of stonework.
Nice forehand there from Hansen. Just outside the bullseye. So a little more pressure on Handley. This is just a straightforward hole if you have a good forehand.
It really is. It really is. The thing is, you want to get on the other side of the basket today with the wind being the way it is, but inbounds is inbounds.
To the 4th, this is the second shot for Scoggins on the par 5. This is an eagleable par 5 for FPO.
It definitely is, especially if you're throwing the big long turnover. I know Owen's just going to play it safe and go forehand, forehand, forehand. But now Kat on her second.
Look at this from Murch.
And now she gets to sit back and just watch. Wait to see what Owen does, where her next shot lands. Plenty of time to make a choice.
All right. Deanne Carey. And the best Circle 1 putter on tour. No, not this time. So Allie Smith can go 2 up through 2 holes.
Is she going to go with the basketball putt or a... Okay. We've been seeing a little bit of both.
And miss it well low. I think that hit the pole, not even the cage. It did hit the pole,
yeah.
Holland. In for birdie. So Carey and Smith should have this hole. Ella Hansen will putt to have the hole with Holland. So Carey makes the comebacker. So Ella and Holland have hole 2. Ella 1 up. And Allie will be 1 up as well. Missed opportunity for Smith. Remember, these 4-person groups, they're going to do round robin play. And so you got to finish top 2 in your group. You can make some matches perhaps a little more important than others.
Most definitely.
I think Ella and Holland know that winning this is a big deal. That is not correct, by the way. Carrie didn't win hole 2, so Allie Smith still 1 up.
Solid third there for Owen, and now here's to win the hole from Cat Merch. Oh! With the slip, nearly cashing it.
I gotta do whatever to keep up with it.
Well, Cat, you are winning your match right now, so you definitely are keeping up. Hole 3, really interesting hole. The touch shot comes first. You're hitting the gap with a little hyzer. The more left you can get this shot, the shorter your second is. And that's going to be just fine from Ella. You can get a little bit more aggressive, throw something a little flippier, but for the FPO, their basket is not quite as far as the MPO, so you can play a little bit more conservatively.
Holland finds a tree.
This opening shot is only maybe 250. There's really not much room for aggression here. You just have to take something stable, push it out into open space. Chance for Deanne to pull back and grab one. It's looking like par at best for both these players.
Cat Merch right underneath the basket. Owen Scoggins needs this to have the hole, and not a problem.
I think we're going to have a good match between these two. I already see it. Driving from Cat, the putting from Owen.
So Merch remains 1 up.
Now this is to have the hole for Eliezra.
Yeah, I know that's why I don't understand the whole point of.
So I think you just heard Eliezra say that it didn't matter anyway, so I think she may have already been too far behind with Katrina Park. So either way, Katrina is going to win the hole and get it back to all square. So Merch 1 up through 4.
I also love that this is a series, too. It gives the players multiple opportunities to have a good weekend, get their win, and the championship at Hornets Nest Park is set to be just an electric finish to this series. Holland just out to open space. Allie on the second. Can't really get to the pin from here. That's going to be just fine. There's a little bubble in this out of bounds where the basket is. You'll see it right next to that pole out there. Deanne maybe could have done something from there, but it would have been a little bit too risky. And now just Got to get up and down. I believe that's going to be a pirate flag. That's going to be out of bounds.
More trouble for Holland.
You think the way the players are playing the course today gives any preview as to how they're feeling going into the actual tournament?
Oh, I do. Absolutely. I mean, I think in some ways they're thinking about this as an opportunity to be a practice round for the tournament. Because how many shots are you realistically throwing differently than you would during the tournament? On the green, perhaps, you might have to try to run some 75-foot approach. But tee shots are going to basically be practice shots for the tournament.
This just pretty much has to be in play. Yeah, that's going to be no problem. Ella can just pitch up from there. And it's things like that that are a little bit different in match play. You got the headwind putt, 30-footer. She still might run it, but technically if you want to win the hole, you just got to put it under the pin.
So we go over to the 5th. Cat Merch 1 up on Own Scoggins.
I love how late her disc just stabilizes in the flight. It comes out so wobbly, but the line ends up being so nice when it finishes. That's going to be in play. See these crosswinds just slamming the shots down, but Allie in great position.
Way down there for Own.
Yeah, that's totally fine. You want to cut a little bit left. There's some alleys on the right side, but it's just a really tough fairway to maneuver.
It's amazing to watch Own Scoggins shape flex forehands through gaps.
As a career.
As a career. As one of the highest rated players in the world. Carey puts it in the bullseye.
I can't overstate, though, backing up to what you said about Own, that's a shot that a lot of players start playing disc golf with, and they get really good at it. But over time, you start to see other people in your area, whether it's local pros or pros on TV, straying away from that play style, and you lose that shot. But it's a very valuable tool to always keep with you.
Second shot for Own.
Oh, no.
I think the wind got that one. There must have been some wind
I thought too low.
pushing the flight plate down. That's going to be fine there in the open.
And Ella misses the putt. Holland in with her 5th. So Ella just needs to tap in to win the hole and go 2 up. And here we go. Basketball putt time from Allie.
I don't know how this is going to work with the wind the way it is.
I'm not sure she knows about it either.
Unless it's a turbo putt, unless you change and you actually put spin on it.
So some putting struggles for Allie. She just picks it up, and Deanne is going to win the hole, and they're going to get back to all square. Ella to win the hole and go 2 up on Holland Handley. So 2 up through 3 holes for Ella.
You just feel for Allie when you see her having to resort to that, even when the wind is ripping in your face like that. At that point, as a player, the short misses are getting so bad that you just completely given up on the stroke. Your hand and your brain are just completely separated. And, yeah, you wonder what she's going to be able to figure out to handle these windy conditions. Otherwise, you know, that style of putt is just not going to fly. Seen players change to a spin putt of sorts. I've seen players flip the disc upside down. I've seen even just a turbo putt. You know, you can take it overhand. You can put your thumb in the bottom middle of the disc, but just put a little spin on it instead. Lindsay Fish, a player with a really solid turbo putt. Johnny McRae. There's ways to do it.
What do you think it takes to get back to your normal putt?
It is a long journey when it gets to that point. I've said this a million times already, but you read the book The Phenomenon by Rick Ankiel, former MLB pitcher. You'll learn a lot about what some of these players go through. Let's jump into hole number 4. This is a par 5, 939. So what you're trying to do is just set yourself up in this gap to shoot down this valley and up back to the basket. We saw Kat Mertz in a pretty prime position. You can get an eagle 3 on this. I'm looking at Holland and Ella to blast one here. If you're shallow of the gap, that actually plays well. You can at least put a little bit of turn in the disc and play the flex. But you have these rocks that are kind of blocking shots sliding up to the pin. So if you want to get to the green, you have to fly it. And I'd rather play to the high side.
I see a lot of this out here at Bad Rock Creek, these kind of blockers. I see them off the tee on hole 2, trying to prevent you from being able to kind of slide or skip up.
I enjoy it. I like making players throw the harder shot, the more technical line, rather than just playing the ground. And for Allie and Deanne, pretty middle of the road distance, very solid, but probably not enough to go 939 in 2. You're going to see a couple of nice golf shots and then a touchy approach to the green.
A little extra help from the wind. Go back to the 5th. Third shot for Mertz. In the water.
Oh boy. Rough mistake.
Needs to settle down. Grabby grass keeps that safe, but short for Hansen.
This is a chance now for Holland to get right back in it. Just got to get a hold of this. You're not going to get the 3 on this from Ella's spot.
So nice drive for Holland.
Oh, they're not scared, never mind.
So we saw Owen go out of bounds, but Kat Mertz also just went out of bounds. So this is the 4th for Owen. Kind of giving it a run there. And that's going to get Owen the win on the hole. So back to all square. Katrina now 1 up after winning both holes 4 and 5.
Yeah, I think from Ella's spot, 4 is going to be about the best you can do. Holland, I think there's a chance to throw a bullet with a little turn. Yeah, she's just going to go forehand. She's not even going to try to get cute with it. On the right side, that's going to be kind of annoying. Uphill towards the rocks.
She got fortunate to not go deeper into those woods.
I really think you should be trying to play for the high side. I'm not sure why she didn't opt for the backhand or the backhand shot, but I'm guessing it might be wind related.
Second shot for Scoggins on hole 6. Just got it back to all square with a win on the 5th.
Nice angle here for Deanne on the second.
Players trying to win points in their group. 3 points for a win in the match, 1 point for a tie. They can tie, there's no playoff. And 0 points for a loss. Again, top 2 advancing to the championship in November. Second shot for Katrina on 6.
Yeah, that works. Yeah. Yeah. I was worried.
So Katrina and Mittling both decent distance from the basket. See if either wants to give it a run. And the wind is ripping out there.
It is ripping, and you saw how low she threw that. She's not trying to get fancy with that. Oh, that's a great scramble from Kat. It sits down. Wow. That is jail from down there. Well done.
Behind you, Mary.
What there?
Thank you.
Yeah, a lot of conservative play, giving a lot of respect to this par 5.
Yeah, that's what I was nervous of. Sliding down the hill.
I don't know where the screw is. I should just get a new bag. They give us the allotment.
Oh, yeah. We've been going.
Don't get on me. Don't start with me, because I'll finish it.
You're right, you did.
Katrina's third.
Ooh, left herself with some work.
So Ellie will have an opportunity to try to win the hole outright, or at least put some pressure on Katrina to make that putt. Tricky spot here for Ella.
If I'm to pick a player to throw from this spot, she's definitely at the top of this list with just a few other people. And that's not too shabby from Ella. She's going to have to make that putt.
So Deanne trying to figure it out, and it's a great opportunity right now to check in with the third member of our broadcast crew who's going to be with us all weekend long, Dixon Jowers out there. Good morning, Dixon. What's Deanne looking at?
Good morning, man. It is a beautiful day out here on the course, but the wind is whipping. Deanne is probably 10 feet into the woods, and she's got no angle at the basket. She's going to have to play some smart golf. The problem is, even with that pitch out right there, Allie played really smart in front of her, and so she's forcing her to make more throws in order to try to win this hole. Deanne's probably going to have to, she's going to have to park this to have any chance.
Great stuff, Dixon.
Yeah, and these mountains kind of make it frustrating. She's not really going to be able to see this built-up rock green as much. She's going to really have to fly the high side of this hole. This is not a gimme. Yeah. Very nicely done. Especially with these elevated pins, you don't want to be on the right side and make it even more elevated. That's tough.
So Ellie can win the hole here with this putt. How about that? Ellie Mittling wins the hole. Little bender around the tree. Take a look on the Zuka replay. This gets us back to all square.
Man, we were talking about the Holland-Ella match, but this entire card is just so dynamic right now. Great, great putt from Ellie. Little forehand from Allie Smith.
Holland giving it a run.
Oh, off the tray. Now, Charlie, I don't know if you're going to see that same run this weekend in the tournament. I don't think that was a mistake. Nice shot.
So this is the fourth for Hansen. Needs this. Very uphill putt.
That's one you're just going to have to laugh off and just walk on to the next hole.
Just going to pick up. So Holland wins the hole. Now Ella just one up through four. Yan taps it in for par. So Allie's got to make this putt to win the hole. And it hasn't been easy for Allie, even from this distance.
Well, this is a better wind for this style of putt. Yeah.
And she shoots it in there and wins the hole. And she's now one up through four. Competitive matches so far, Brian. Cat Merch, opportunity to win the hole over on 6.
Ooh. You know, I think Bad Rock, for many reasons, sets up very well for match play. There's a lot of places you can get in trouble pretty quickly if you're not careful. And this would have been a great jab back at Owen Scoggins.
So all square in both of those matches. Ella Hansen and Allie Smith each one up. All right. Remember, we got MPO match play coming up later today. Gannon Burr and Anthony Barella facing off. Chris Dickerson versus Luke Humphreys. Ricky Wysocki versus Paul Macbeth. And Matty O versus Ezra Aderhold.
Owen puts herself off to the left side. That's going to be a pretty tricky putt. Tough, subtle hyzer flip you have to throw here.
Yeah, let's go, Cat. What a shot.
Great shape there for Merch. Perfect.
Bullseye.
Using the trees as a backboard. And this is that flip up you're talking about, Brian.
And this is really, really well done. Gets up to flat for just a little bit before fading at the end. And you can really just throw a straight shot, too. You don't have to get it to check back up. There's only one guardian tree right before the basket.
So, big advantage there for Murch, but Scoggins might have a look. Holland.
That is a flawless tee shot from Holland Handley. Gets to the high side of the hill. You have a much better view of the rest of the hole. If you're on the low side, there's not much you can see. Okay, Ella to act first in this matchup. Things starting to heat up for these two.
Katrina Allen putting for a birdie. Just misses. So Ellie will have a look to win the hole.
This is one of the coolest skills that Katrina has, is this kind of really idiosyncratic spin putt. She's so good from different speeds, different angles. Almost cashes that one.
Oh, great reaction. Okay.
They're going to count that as a fairway hit, but she's pretty far back. That's fine. Really great mix of woods and open out here at this course. What do you think about this track just in general, Charlie?
I think it's a lot of fun as Midling has a chance to win the hole. Gave it a chance.
Don't forget your tail. Carter's up there.
So Allie after the early tree hit. You know, Brian, I've never played here at Bad Rock Creek, but I know that you have. What are the skills required to shoot well out here?
I think depth perception is really rewarded out here. There's a lot of gaps that you have to kind of position yourself to throw that good second shot. And on holes like this, I think you throw this technical shot, and then you have to throw a pretty tough shot with some power to the green. But then we have a good mix of open, we have a good mix of wooded. You have to control your distance as well out here.
Throw the sneaky backhand line. That's what this is going for.
Scoggins! After Murch put it underneath the basket. Wow. Saves the hole.
Can we call it an instant classic yet? Well, this is a crazy match between these two.
Yeah, shut up.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, get in her head, right here.
Here, I haven't seen any frogs.
I have.
Of course you have.
Heard any? I have.
That's so funny.
On this hole. They love it.
Oh, but unfortunately for Owen, as we take another look at this amazing putt, this was OB off the tee. So this was to save a par. She's still going to lose the hole, but she gives us something to be excited
Well,
about.
it's also Owen telling Kat, hey, I don't know if you can make that bullseye putt. I'm just making sure.
Kat does make the bullseye putt, and Kat does win the hole, so she's back to being one up in that match.
It's a nice scenic approach here for Ella on the down slope.
I like that Owen made Kat take that putt, by the way. No gimmies.
Girl, you thought I was throwing a highs over here? Nah, we going.
Still a little work left for Ella. Now Holland has a chance to take this back. she actually pushed a lot more right. She can just crack this on a little turn.
That needs to come back.
Okay.
Circle 1.
Opportunity for Holland to make a putt, get back in the mix.
Not a great shot there for Allie, especially given the putting woes.
Kind of thinking that about the last 3 that we've seen.
Ezra is putting for birdie from 40 feet. So here's Allen. Try to put it closer. Not going to happen. So can Mittling pick up the hole? They are all square at the moment. Carey. C1. Back over to 8. Mittling to win the hole. Oh, yeah. Ellie Mittling goes 1 up with that putt from 40.
She's had a couple of vicious putts to win holes here.
She hit from 36th on the 6th. And another circle 2 make here on the 8th.
What a beautiful trajectory. Flat spin, no wobble, even with the wind blowing. I love that chuckling as her reaction to this, because I know that feeling. When the putt's hot, the putt's hot.
Ella and Holland, a similar distance. Mid C2. Not there for Ella. She's taking a look up at the drone, maybe. A little drone razz on the green.
Maybe ordered by Holland.
So Holland to win the hole and get back to all square. She said this week that she's not super happy with her circle 2 putting right now. Came into the season looking fantastic, but slowed down a little bit. A little low on that one as Allie Smith knocks it down. It's better for her to putt from further away.
Yeah, sometimes you just develop that block from a very strange distance and everything else just feels like normal.
So now Deanne needs this to have the hole. Allie Smith is going to win hole 5 and go 2 up. Tap ins for both Hansen and Handley, so they will have hole 5. Hansen remains 1 up. How about this from Allie Smith?
This is the putting stroke that I remember her just dialed in with when she won this tournament in 23. This is just a really classic push putt release. Kind of reminds me of how Andrew Marweed releases his putt, and once she finds that release again, it's going to be a great season for her. The disc is coming great out of her hand.
So Smith and Hansen with the advantages in their matches. Scoggins for birdie. Bounces out. Murch can win the hole with this putt.
You love having all the feather banners in the background just ripping.
To go 2 up. Ouch.
Man, it's kind of interesting because the feather banners, sometimes they'll turn and blow in the direction the wind's going, but a lot of times it looks like a bit misleading. Definitely got the lift on that putt.
So they have hole 8. Merch 1 up. Nobody's running away with it, that's for sure.
Got some real interesting holes coming up on the back 9.
Do you think it'd be an upset for Midling to get this win in this match against Katrina?
100%. She gets to go home and say, I beat a 2-time world champion, heads up. Like, how many people get to say that?
Not many.
Not many. This one's really interesting. So I say depth perception. The gap shoots dead left into the woods, and you're just trying to set yourself up for that shot. So you don't get to rehearse the tougher shot on the hole. It's all feel. And that's just fine. I've seen some players try to throw the, well, here we go. This is the line I'm talking about. This is an aggressive forehand from Holland.
Not bad idea. Not today.
Cool idea. She's way down there.
I wasn't.
I want to throw it to Dixon Jowers. Dixon, we're seeing these inside flex forehands. Can you kind of paint a picture of what they're actually trying to do down there?
What she's trying to do is crazy, and she absolutely just did it. That shot by Holland, you can see the main gap from the tee, and so you aim at that, but you can't see the 27 other trees that are in the way from the box. She is down to probably about 150-foot standstill upshot, right dead middle of the fairway. Whereas you saw Allie intentionally play short of everything to set up the about 300-foot shot down that same alley. So 4 different ways of playing this hole. And when you're standing on the box, any of them work. Nobody's in jail right now. And actually Ella got saved by a tree. She was probably going to go pretty deep, but she's sitting in a good spot for a standstill forehand.
We watched that flight from Holland come through. That is picture perfect. And now this is what they're trying to get the players to throw in the second. Daunting gap shot. But man, when you cut the corner, it changes everything. That's got to be a thing that course designers see players do, and they get excited. They said, ha, you found the line that I wanted someone to take. And yeah, you got to give a big shout out to John Thies and rest of the Kansas City disc golf community for really making this course look beautiful this time of year.
Deanne sneaks it past the right side tree and is going to have a look. Opportunity to win the hole. It's rare to say it, but Deanne's going to have to pick it up on the green. She's already missed a couple of circle 1 putts. Cat clips off the tree. Kicks right on the 9th.
Man, 9 is a really tight gap. This is like a more brutal version of hole number 2 for these players.
Low ceiling, high floor.
Yeah, very tight window to hit.
Holland in a great spot, so Ella's got to find something here. Nice job. It's going to be near circle's edge.
And Holland now has to make that putt nervy for Ella. She's got to give respect to that approach.
Headwind putt for Scoggins.
Owen might just be practicing for the tournament this weekend, putting herself in the windy side of the green, giving herself some circle 2 looks. as we're flying over this, I want to throw it again down to Dixon Jowers. Dixon, you said you're not a local to Bad Rock, but you're more local than we are. Can you just talk about your feelings about this place and kind of how you've seen all this evolve in Kansas City?
Yeah, this course is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And it's one of those places where you play and you can see the work that went into it. This Kansas City crew does not mess around. I was out here last weekend to get a run through the course, and there was probably 50 people out here working. They take pride in their courses. They take pride in the maintenance of it, and it shows when the players come out here to give it a try.
Yeah, and I wanted to throw that down to him. I remember, knowing he was closer to this course than we were, but he openly told us, I'm not out here shoveling mulch like all the rest of these people putting all this hard work in. And he's right. The first time the Pro Tour came to Kansas City to bring that big tournament back, it was like business as usual for these guys. They've been there and done that.
Go back over to the 9th. Murch, chance to win the hole. Instead, we'll just have a shorter par putt. So Scoggins likely needs this to have this hole. And windy conditions, not a problem for Owen. So Murch has a short putt. Same thing for Mittling to have the hole. No. So for all the great putting we've seen from Mittling from Circle 2, Circle 1's been a little bit of a problem, and Katrina can make this putt to win the hole and get back to all square. So they continue to trade holes back and forth. They each have 3-1 holes as they get back to all square through the front 9.
And no look there for Deanne off to the right side of the fairway. And now Ella needs to cash this.
So Holland with an opportunity to win the hole coming up. Carey in for the par. Handley can win the hole. Get back to all square. All right. Things are heating up here in the match play.
It feels like Holland just came out a little cold, and now she's definitely defrosted a bit. Can't overstate how truly good that flex forehand was off the tee. You're not going to see that a ton from the players.
He basketballs it in there and halves the hole, so she will retain that 2-up advantage. So this group will head to the 7th. It's definitely a very different looking course than what we typically see at our Kansas tour stop. Dynamic Discs Open out in Emporia, not on tour this year.
What's cool about this is I spoke to some people in Kansas City who are just in love with Bad Rock. It's a very beloved course for this local community, and that's always a special thing when the tour gets to play at courses like this. Man, that's a tough play on the wind that you're trying to make there. It's safe. She was probably hoping for a little bit more push from the crosswind, a little bit lower.
Just heard that there's a smiley face on the yellow flag. So
that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
There's got to be some happy pirates out there somewhere, Charlie. I don't know.
Ezra Robinson comes to mind.
The happiest pirate we've ever known. Oh, look at this. That's got to fight. Got to keep this really low.
Can Owen take advantage of Cat being a little out of position? Oh, look at that ride right.
And I know Owen likes to throw a little bit lighter weight destroyers. And when the wind starts picking up like this, that's when that actually does matter. Holland on 7. Yeah, this is that straight shot that I was talking about. You don't have to get a finish on this shot. Lace the initial fairway. It's open enough to where you'll have a putt. But I'm not going to act like that's easy. What do you do here, Charlie? Do you try to save the par here, or do you just pick up? I mean, with Holland in circle 1, what do you do? Do you save your energy?
I mean, I think you go look at it and ask yourself if you have a chance to throw it in.
It's also, yeah, a matter of principle as well. Gorgeous shot. Sneaking a little bit through that right side.
Pressure here on Carey, who's already 2 down. It's in the fairway, but she's going to need to throw it in.
Too low.
Take a look again at the drive from Smith.
I'm seeing some just really solid control from both sides from Allie.
Beautiful. Don't have to worry about a putt from there. Got to try to put this close, and that's going to do it. Holland should be able to just lay up and win the hole and take the lead for the first time in this match.
You know, these tournaments are 54 holes over the course of a weekend, but for match play, I can imagine the emotional swings would be pretty wild in one round. You get behind, you start to feel stressed, you tie it up, you start to get pumped up again. I mean, Holland's probably feeling fantastic after a really slow start, because it doesn't matter if you take an 8 on a hole. A loss is a loss. So you could still be having a pretty average day score-wise, but still end up winning your match if you have enough good holes to make up for it.
Carey's got to try to throw this in. Gave it a chance. But Allie Smith's going to pick up the hole, and she's going to go 3 up.
A layup from Owen.
Cat's not going to run it either. We just hear Owen in the background say it's not worth it. Too much risk.
I am blown away.
You're blown
yeah.
away.
I mean, nice restraint, but I can't believe it.
Ella tried to throw it in. So Holland's going to win the hole, and she's going to go 1 up. Katrina can win the hole.
Left to right. It really was a nice play. She threw a lot more direct on that hyzer.
So Ellie Osra can win the hole with this putt.
Really isn't worth it, huh?
Holland didn't need to make it, but a little extra practice. And she's going to win the hole and go one up. Allie Smith with the tap in to win the hole. She is 3 up on Deanne Carey. Checking in on the scorecards. See the update go through there on the right-hand group. If you win your match today, get 3 points. Tie is worth 1 point. Loss, 0 points. Still got to find a spot for some of the other match play round 1 matches to take place. All the Europeans, many of the Europeans, I should say, not playing this weekend. Heading back to Europe before the Champions Cup. Get a little rest and recovery time. So don't have the full 4 cards playing today.
Yeah, and when you looked at that course at the Music City Open, there was no way we were going to get match play to happen. It was just a really unfortunate series of events, but I'm glad that we were able to move at least this one here.
Whoa.
And Kat's driving 11 just screaming out of bounds. Looks like that wind is lifting.
Hone, getting a little bit of a wind read, goes short.
Or circle 2 putting practice. It's going to be a long one for Allie. It's tough. You're going downhill here. The ceiling is not that forgiving. Gonna have to play the ground a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah.
That will do for Deanne. A little bit better look than Allie does. This one you can at least take something stable out, just jam it flat. Not a ton of shape you need here.
Nicely done. 18-footer coming for Holland.
I want to see Ella make this 18-footer shaky for Holland. I want her to think about it. Uh-oh.
Lost the rhythm off the tee right now. And big trouble once again. Gonna have to manufacture something. Give herself a short putt and hope Holland misses.
Yeah, what do you think? 18 feet. Is Ella thinking, oh, well, she's going to make this. I have to throw it in.
I think you run it. Yeah, absolutely. So Scoggins laid up. Katrina had a chance to win the hole there, but puts it underneath the basket. This for par for Murch. Scoggins laid up, putting the pressure on Kat to make this putt.
Oh boy, she's going to have to throw this really high. Especially with her hyzer angle. Yeah, just a bit low.
Tough putting conditions right now. Murch is going to lose the hole. Scoggins is going to get it back to all square. This is for Ezra to have the hole here with Katrina. No. So Katrina is going to take the lead here and go 1 up.
Oh man, look at
7 holes to play. Wind.
Look at these flags.
Let's send it down to Dixon. I mean, how windy is it out there? I mean, have you seen wind like this at this course before?
Yes, there's a lot of wind, and yes, we've seen this before. I mean, this is Kansas, right? The funny thing about the wind this weekend is between the 4 days of play today and the 3 of the wide open, the wind is going to change direction every day. Today it's out of the east, tomorrow out of the north, Saturday out of the west, and Sunday out of the south, if I remember correctly. But it will be coming from 4 different ways, so whatever they learn today, throw it away for tomorrow.
Those are the most frustrating weekends of disc golf. There's no rhythm you can get in. There's nothing you can rehearse during the week. It's almost like the person who played the most practice rounds is going to have the most advantage for multiple reasons.
Holland to win the hole. So she is now 2 up on Ella Hansen. And that's 3 in a row for Holland and 4 of the last 5.
Saw some legitimate frustration from Ella walking off that tee, and now the short misses.
That's just a practice putt.
Oh boy. I want to see how this performs in a headwind. Does she change the stroke at all?
Just enough velocity to fight right through the wind. So they'll have the hole. Allie Smith remains 3 up. Blustery conditions out here today at Bad Rock Creek. Starting to see a little bit of separation. Ella won 2 of the first 3 holes, and since then it's been all Holland. Ella's going to have to rediscover the release point quick off the tee if she wants to have a chance to get back in it. Closer matches in the other group. Owen and Kat all square. Katrina up 1 on Mittling. We go to the 12th.
Just another scenic fairway.
Little pinball for Scoggins.
And that's actually a great side of the fairway to miss on. Opportunity for Kat to really put some pressure on, though. If she can just throw that subtle hyzer, have it riding left.
Go through. Huh?
I believe she just cursed and finished. Oh, look at the shape on that forehand. Really well done from Holland. She was telling me earlier this year that she was really working on the hyzer flip forehand. That was really nice. There's not a lot of room to throw the flex, as you see with these posts early.
Great shot from Ella.
This is what we wanted to see. We want to see both of them catch some fire. That's a little higher from Allie.
Circle 2 look. Does stay up on top of the stairs.
forehand's easier to keep low. Like you said, low ceiling, high floor, but this is right in Deanne's wheelhouse, being from the Carolinas. Just a misfire.
Still has an opportunity to get up there and save the par. Put a little pressure on Smith, try to make a tough circle 2 putt.
So like I said, Owen missed on the right side of the fairway. Cat missing inside gives you pretty much no shot. And not going to happen for Owen either. You see the wind kind of creeping through these woods. Cat from the step out. That's such a touchy shot from distance.
Birch's thirds. A lot of emotion out of Cat Murch today. I mean, we saw her frustrated with missed putts, frustrated with some missed shots from the fairway.
Well, you also wonder if some of the frustration, tension that these players are feeling are thoughts of how they're going to play this upcoming weekend as well. You know, you're having a rough day out there. You're not feeling your putts. You're not feeling your stroke. And you're worried about your performance in the weekend and can't do that.
Overhead view of hole 9, going through that tunnel, and just a little touchy shot. Dixon, how big is that gap floor to ceiling on the 9th? Well, we'll have to check back in with Dixon in a moment. Murch.
Yeah, Cat. Street.
That would have been a great make, but that's a tall order.
Allie Smith can go 4 up.
Definitely you, but I'll go, I guess.
So Hansen and Handley both tap in. Nicely played hole. They'll split it. Holland remains 2 up. And Allie starting to pull away. She's 4 up through 9.
Well, this is that local knowledge coming into play. You're so comfortable at a course that tries really hard to make you uncomfortable. And speaking of which, Owen from kind of a weird spot. Yeah, the flex had no room to move there. Now Ellie with a tight window to flex the forehand through. This is her third. That's tough wind to be putting from circle 2 in.
Tester.
Yeah, that's 20-foot headwind putt.
See the players heading over to the 10th. And Dixon wanted to send it back down to you. What's this walk like?
Yeah, you get a nice, it's a nice little break. I mean, as the crow flies, it's probably only 300 feet, but it goes by the bathrooms if you need to take a break. It's by the parking lot if you need to grab an extra disc. Or as Ella demonstrated, You can take a fake spike on the volleyball net that's halfway through.
Gotta say, I always like a course that takes you back to the parking lot at the turn.
100%. And
sometimes you just want to play 9, Brian.
Well, for the Disc Golf Pro Tour as well, it's perfect for fans as well. You got Tournament Central right in the middle. You can take a little loop of 9, hang out, buy a couple discs, have a drink, and then go back out and follow some cards in the back.
So Katrina can have the hole with this putt, and she gets it. You surprised to see Middling lay up there?
No, it seems like she's kind of had some shaky confidence from short range.
So Scoggins and Murch are going to have the hole as well. So that match still all square with 6 holes to play.
It is interesting, though. We think about Ellie laying up. That's her saying that she didn't think that Kat could make that putt. Guess it was windy, but...
Or maybe just not, as you were saying before, just not confident that she was going to make it.
Yeah.
I didn't want to run it past.
But if you knew that Kat was going to make the putt, you're going to run it. You have no choice. And then you miss it, you lose the hole. But there was definitely some doubt there.
We go over to 13, 304-foot par 3. One of the more straightforward holes on the course.
Yeah, this is your fieldwork style hole. Throw whatever shot you're comfortable with, make a good read in the wind. And Owen throws a good one. Kat's looking like she's throwing a good one. Couple of bullseyes.
Allen, one up. That's going to put some pressure on Middling. It's got to get left. Is it close enough?
She doesn't know. She doesn't know. Little shrug.
Back over to 10. Into the back 9 for these two groups.
Man, Allie Smith is throwing the disc really, really well today. Giving us some forehand chops, some backhand technicality, some power.
Yeah, she's, not that it really matters here, she was even par through the front if you were tracking for stroke play, which I think is a nice result out here, especially given the wind and the scoring we've seen here at this course historically. If you're looking ahead to the weekend.
Solid shot there from Deanne. I have to say, you look at last year, 5 down, won it for Lisa Fakis over Owen, who was at 4 down. So yeah, even through the front is just fine, but we do have some really tricky holes coming up in the back. It doesn't get easier, so to speak.
Allie Smith is closer than Deanne. Oh, that got pushed down by the wind. It does check up towards the basket. Inside the circle for Handley.
I do kind of love this changeup. You're playing all these technical wooded holes on the back half of the front 9, and now you just right back out in the open, throwing into the wind.
So some tap-ins coming up.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, shoot.
Ooh, scissors first, Charlie. Thoughts?
Gets the dub. I mean, you got to know your opponent in rock, paper, scissors, Brian. So that was for deciding who's going to putt first. It will be Katrina. Katrina 1 up. In for the birdie. So pressure now on Mittling to have the hole.
Nice wind here.
Not that many holes left. Really don't want to let this one get away.
A little dicey on the pole, a little bit exposed. But a well-played rock, paper, scissors match.
Oh, yeah. Holland off the band, and Ella's parked. So Hansen is going to pick up this hole and cut the Holland lead to just 1. She didn't even
look at this.
Expect Ella to pick it up. So Allie misses from short range, but look at the wind right now.
Oh, with the direction this is blowing, man.
You could have a putt blow straight back out of the chains on you right there.
I have some horror stories from some even higher elevated baskets. You got a tough wind like this, even if you're under it, it's tough.
So Carrie and Smith have the hole. Allie Smith still up 4. And Ella Hansen gets 1 back. Her first hole win since the 3rd. And it's a 1-up lead for Holland Handley. So 3 of our 4 matches within 1. Let's check in with Dixon.
Yeah, that was exactly what Ella needed right there. She's been getting beat down for the last probably 45 minutes of real time. And then all it takes is 1 good drive, a windy putt for Holland, and she's only down 1. That's the beauty of match play. If you can flush your bad holes, you're always in it so long as there's still holes to play. And now we're stepping up to a righty hyzer, which should fit Ella's game really nice.
Yeah, they both have distance, but when it comes to the high-flying max distance lines, spike hyzers, I definitely give that to Ella.
Headwind putt inside the circle, but not an easy putt.
The wind is blowing you to that side of the green, but you really want to be on that right side. I think you can afford to keep it a little bit lower. I don't know if you need to throw the spike, but then you're kind of betting on the wind to help you.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I think she's just going to pick up, save her energy, and give the point to Ella.
All square.
Just like that.
All square.
Like, you don't even want to try to fight out of the rough here. You just don't need to waste that energy.
So just like that, Ella back level with Holland.
I like Allie going up the gut. Nice shot. Strong side of the green. We're going to see another shot go up the gut. Another course designer's dream. Both options being taken. Crosswind just shoved it way out of bounds. I thought that was going to land softly.
It was looking great, but took the big skip and ends up out of bounds. So Allie Smith going to take a commanding lead here, most likely. Smiley face flag. Second shot for Scoggins. Skipping towards OB. Danger.
No.
So Murch takes advantage here. She's got a chance to retake a one-up lead. Wow. So Eliezra now in a good spot with Allen going out of bounds. So I guess Holland is maybe going to give this a go.
I'm sure she just wants to see if there's a chance to save par. She might as well just pitch out and run it.
That was a moment ago. Now we catch up back live. Got to throw this in. That's not going to happen, so all square in the Holland-Ella matchup.
I applaud her for the competitive spirit. You very easily could have picked up the disc and just given it to her. Why not run a highlight?
Go back to 14.
You see the water right behind the pin. This is a touchy approach. Oh.
I was so scared.
Did not show off the touch. Did not capitalize.
And with Scoggins sitting out of bounds. This is a big misfire.
That's just a scared shot. Just afraid that the wind's going to pick you up and throw you into the water.
So Midling in a good spot because Katrina's out of bounds. And she does exactly what Kat Murch was hoping to do, and you can see that's a scary shot with this wind up. Allie Smith just pitches it up. And Dixon, what does Deanne have here?
Deanne's got a chance is what she's got. With Allie laying that up, Deanne's got right at circle's edge. And she's right at circle's edge. Right screaming into the headwind. I mean, it's probably 20 miles an hour right now, right in her face. But if she makes it, she pushes the hole. So no reason to leave this short. This should either be almost back on the tee box or in the chains. Yeah. She's having to bear down on it, gives it the run. It was chain high, just a little bit right. That's exactly what she needed. Just wasn't able to cash it in, but a great effort there by Deanne.
So Allie Smith is going to pick up another hole. She's going to go 5 up with 7 to play. Time running out on Deanne Carey.
This is just great to watch for Allie Smith. She's had some serious struggles this year, and I really hope she can come into this tournament this weekend hoping to channel that same magic that got her to the victory in 23. She's really a great player. Elite from both sides of the disc. We've seen some moments of greatness with the putt this round.
Kat Murch can win the hole. But after leaving the layup short, doesn't cash in the putt. Hard to run that one with any kind of authority. And that means that they will split the hole.
We have 3 all-square matches right now, and it hasn't been a bunch of pushes, Charlie. It's been a lot of back and forth trading blows. This is a great opening day for match play.
Look at this coming down the stretch. 3 tied matches. Deanne Carey's got to get something going quick.
And here we go to 15. Tricky hole. You'll see some players go down that left side. Owen just playing it super safe.
I know, good layup.
One of the more interesting holes if you take that forehand line. Ricky Wysocki even going to say he throws an intentional water skip on this hole to get to the green.
You can see the basket off there on that left side over the water, and Murch is headed that direction with the forehand. And she might need some help, and she's not going to get it.
That
might have skipped if it hit water.
Either. She hit the 1.5 foot
Right.
strip of land you cannot hit. That's brutal. What I like about this hole is the left gap is really risky for the obvious reasons. The right gap requires a much more technical play to get up to the green. You have to throw a low push hyzer that skips. Yeah, Kat's just playing the conservative play. She's playing chess.
Take another look at this drive from Kat Murch.
Do you call this one a bad beat, Charlie?
Maybe not quite. I think it needs to be a little higher up in the air. I mean, I'm not sure if that is going to skip off the water. It might have a chance. But it's obviously frustrating to hit land and have it just stick like that. She's got an optional drop zone, which I'm sure she will take because the drop zone is a C2 putt back towards the water. Very reminiscent of Maple Hill.
Oh, and this would be a spectacular up and down. Look what she has to hit here, Charlie. Oh, and is she going forehand left?
And that's in the drink. So that's going to do it for Mittling's hopes on this hole. Katrina is going to go one up.
Oh, look at this shot. Very specific angle here on 12. Push hyzer, flips up as it rides left. And we saw Owen on that side of the fairway have a really nice look at the basket. Looks like you don't want to be too left. Just like that. Gotta love when the forehand doesn't skip, it rolls the other direction and defies laws of physics. Kat still has to give this some respect.
Oh my. You just cannot do that if you're Katrina. The only mistake. Into the OB.
She could have thrown it 70 feet right of the basket.
Go get it, baby. Get it.
Murch going for it.
That would be great.
There's no explanation. It's just a bad throw, and she knows it. It's going to be a tough putt back to the basket now. She's pinched up against that tree.
avoiding that tree on the corner.
Okay.
Wild.
So this is to win the hole.
You're right at it. Good try. Dude, look at the way that thing. Actually, I'm gonna go this way. Just that's kind of
alt where it says to be putting.
And that was a silver plattered gift to Eliezer Midling. And you know, a player like Katrina.
I just want to quickly check in because what I just said about it being an optional drop zone, I was actually looking at a caddy book that was originally wrong. The corrected caddy book, which I now have pulled up, that is not an optional drop zone. So Cat Merch actually just misplayed the hole. And so I don't know how that's going to resolve here in this match play. But that was a misplay. She had to go to the drop zone there and not throw from the other side of the water.
So she might be looking at a incorrect ruling on the hole. Huh.
Yeah, right. Because if the original caddy book was incorrect, which it was because I was just looking at it. Interesting. Ultimately, it won't matter either way. Owen Scoggins wins the hole, but hopefully somebody relays to Cat Merch that during the tournament, she will need to go to the drop zone on 15. So let's check in where things stand. Owen Scoggins, 1 up. Katrina misses the opportunity to take the lead on Eliezer there on 15. Holland and Ella still all square. Let's take a look at hole 16.
This is a beast of a hole. Essentially, you're just blasting a shot uphill. You want to stay in bounds. The second shot is really challenging because more than likely you're throwing uphill lie, having to carry forward, and you got to keep the second shot low, otherwise you're going to be finding the out of bounds on that left side. And then once you're there, you're blasting a shot into the woods. 4 on this is going to be really solid for the FPO division. These trees, these last guardians before we get into the woods also really define the hole. That's right where that long flex shot tries to come into play. Just more variety out here at Bad Rock. Ellie didn't like it, but I think she's going to be in prime position to at least try to throw a big distance shot on the second. This is one where the power Eliezer has is definitely an advantage over Katrina. My eyes might be deceiving me, but it looks like Katrina's kind of brought back that pump that she used to have when she played and won her first world title. Took it away for a little bit of time.
Holland's disc checks back out into the open, but does roll backwards a bit.
Yeah, so this is where the finish really matters on this hole. You can't just blast a shot and get a natural hyzer finish.
So Hansen hitting the tree out of position, but Holland is almost 70 feet away, so it may not matter.
It shouldn't matter too much, but she's still going to have to earn this up and down. Let's see if Kat tries to bite off a little bit more distance, put some pressure on Own. It's only 779 par 5. Yeah, that's a great spot for Kat. She's going to get to really air out that turnover. A little bit flatter spot footing-wise. And Ella did not put that close to the basket.
All right, so Holland tries to spin it in there. Could have sealed it probably with a make here.
It's so impressive that she's able to play these winds like that with a push putt. It's just a perfect nose angle, perfect wing angle. Nice putt.
Crucial make there for Hansen. To push here on the 12th. No problem for Holland.
Got to think twice on these. Look how stiff that is.
To get one back here, and so Deanne wins just her second hole of the match, but claws one spot closer. 4 down, 6 to play.
That's just fine. Still a long way to go to the basket. One of the few holes where just raw power really helps you out a lot. Perfect shot for Eliezer. She can actually throw a subtle hyzer into the green from there. Cat showing off some power. Fantastic shot. I really think that pump was kind of a key element to her backhand timing. Love to see it back. Happy face for Cat.
So Ella inside the circle. I mean, in normal conditions, Brian, this is an easy shot for these players, but with the wind up like this, you really got to adjust.
Yeah. You could put a blindfold on some of these players and they would get inside circle one if there was no wind. 304 is kind of that stock, smooth tempo fairway shot.
Very high for Handley. And it does settle down. She will putt first, about a foot behind Ella's disc. Owns third on 16.
She's not even thinking about the green. She just wants to put it inside circle two. Little tailwind putt. This is a shot that I don't think a fresh to tour Eliezer would be able to pull off. This is a big triumph for her. these touchy little turnovers that flatten late. She's a little bit short of the basket, but I love seeing the control on some of these shots where having the full power backhand timing doesn't really help you.
Can Katrina get a little bit closer and put some pressure on Midling's putt? Indeed. She'll have a tap in. So Midling will need a circle's edge putt. Maybe a little bit inside the circle, about 25 to 30 footer. To split the hole and stay all square. Right on the line.
I think the forehand is the more optimal play, but Kat's going to throw backhand hyzer and challenge some of these deeper trees. Yeah, that's just fine. Does put herself on the headwind side of the green, though.
Holland putting first.
Not a good reaction. She tried to play the lift, got it. How many emotions in just this one shot?
Roller coaster. So if you're Ella, do you think about laying this up, or do you just try to jam it?
It would. I think that would cut deeper than competition if you lay this up. That would be insulting.
To win the hole and take the lead. She hasn't had the lead since hole 3, and she's in. So getting the read off of Holland's putt, sailing the basket, and Ella Hansen now 1 up. She won 2 of the first 3 holes, then went 2 down over the next 5, and has now climbed back to the lead with 5 holes to play in the match. Wild.
I think what's wild is looking at the 1 holes throughout these cards. 8 on Holland and Ella's card, or now 9 1 holes.
Deanne Carey wins the hole after Allie Smith missed from distance. And so Deanne Carey closing the lead down on Smith. Now a 3-up Smith lead with 5 to play. And, you know, just like at the World Cup, a tie for Deanne Carey would feel like a win, given the circumstances. And it can matter, getting that 1 point.
It totally does.
Scoggins missing. Eliezra needs this. Katrina is parked. And she's in. So they will stay all square going to 17.
She is showing off some poise. This is for a great birdie here. Tough headwind putt. And just like that, Owen has a shot.
So Murch needs this to have the hole. Otherwise, Owen is going to pick it up. A couple of tough circle 1 misses for Kat Murch, and Owen Scoggins is about to go 2 up with 2 to play. Katrina taps in to have the hole. Wow, it looked like Cat Merch was going to win that hole, and instead, Owen ends up winning it after the 3-putt.
Oh, that's what I was trying to say earlier. Every one of these cards has a really big number of 1 holes. It's not like they've pushed all these holes. 8 wins on Ellie and Kat. We have 9 on Allie and Deanne. 9 Ella and Holland. This is just a great day of match play right now.
It's coming down to the wire here. Cat Merch is going to have to go back-to-back wins on 17 and 18. Deanne Carey trying to keep pushing this lead down. She's cut it from 5 to 3 in 2 holes. That's not going to help her cause. OB left on that downwind side to 17. Scoggins 2 up. Just needs to get a push.
Oh, that's great. That is really great. This is a very claustrophobic par 4. It's 461. Even if you're in the middle, you're still going to have to deal with some trees. And Kat hits the ground with some pace, gets the flare. She's going to have some little trees to work with. Still a great shot. I really love this mix of wooded and open, Charlie. This is some of the best variety we've seen. She's lucky to even sneak down to that. That was definitely pulled off to the right.
Can Katrina take advantage? Oh, that sneaks through. And she's in a perfect spot. Very fortunate for Katrina. Back over to 14.
Got to challenge the OB, but still get it right. That's just fine. You can get a little bit more aggressive. I think if you have a power sidearm, you can put something down there. But it looks like the wind is just not favorable for that right now. Yeah, a couple of conservative tee shots from Holland and Ella. At this point, you just can't make a mistake. You got to give yourself a chance to get up and down for birdie.
So Owen Scoggins and Cat Merch. Just looking for a push for Owen. Cat's going to have to go win-win. That match is Dormie at the moment.
Owen's in a much better spot than Kat, but she is going to potentially have to stretch out a little bit. Yeah, she's going to have to deal with this Guardian. So it's not completely smooth sailing.
Circle's edge.
It's a good wind from that side of the green. It's not going to carry your disc off into the distance, but now Kat's going to have to scramble. And now other Kat in prime position.
Wow.
Total misfire there from Katrina.
Yeah, that's been the miss too, is just pushing it left. It's like her Brain is thinking flat, her body's thinking hyzer.
That might be trouble for Holland.
Wow, look at the wind toy with this disc. What a shot! Look at that!
And the skip with so much wind, that skip just goes vertical in the air and drops straight back down.
Makes that putt. That is shot of the day for me. You had to crank on this disc to fight the wind and actually get it to behave this way. Like, look at the wind. It's not even letting it skip.
That's crazy. Dixon, you just watched that shot come in from Ella. What'd you think?
It was an incredible shot, maybe a little bit ill-advised because Holland was out of bounds, but holy cow, did Ella produce right there.
Yeah, that's a pride thing right there. That's putting some pressure on Holland, just showing her, hey, I'm coming down the stretch. I'm picking up some steam.
Yeah, that's been a match of runs. Hansen went 2 up, then Holland erased the lead, took a 2-hole lead of her own, and now Hansen looking like she's going to go 2 up again with Holland OB. Just lay up.
And Kat just not getting herself to a good spot. Owen's going to have a much better look at the basket.
Yeah, Merchant C2, Owen at the edge of the circle.
And this is got to be close.
$16, 17 feet for Mittling, and everybody needs to stay clear of this little guy.
And that's not a garden hose, Charlie.
So Allen can win the hole with this circle's edge putt. And that would be huge here, heading to 18. Oh, thought she had it.
This looks like one of those putts where she let go of it and said, you know what, I made a good stroke. And the wind just did not let the disc get into the basket. So that was, oh boy, same direction and a same reaction.
So that putt would have won Owen the hole, but it doesn't really matter because Owen had a 2-up lead already. And so even though they pushed the hole, that match is over. Owen Scoggins wins 2 and 1. Oh my goodness, Mittling misses from 15 feet.
That is just brutal. And you have to putt it hard with this wind. You have no choice. It's high on the pole, but you're going to throw that exact same putt 10 times out of 10. I mean, a gift right back to Katrina.
And so Katrina Allen will go 1 up heading to 18. Mittling is going to have to force the issue on the par 5. Wow.
Wow is right.
So Owen Scoggins actually going to make it 3 and 1 because Merch takes the bogey on 17.
Entertaining first card coming into the clubhouse.
Very much so. It's been a bunch of great matches. So now we can see if Eliezer can maybe try to take advantage of her distance on the 750-foot par 5 18th. Handley. With Hansen inside the circle. Kind of had to have that, so it'll be a simple layup now for Hansen, who's going to win that hole. So that was a double bogey putt for Deanne. This is for bogey for Allie to win the hole.
You can do it, Al.
And she's going overhand even from this distance. You're just not going to get a consistent flight from that range. I get from the bullseye's edge, but
maybe a risk management decision given the concern about going out of bounds again or flying past.
That's true.
They push the hole, and Allie does have the big lead, keep in mind. Doesn't really need to push. Deanne has to push. So Smith 3 up, 4 to play. And Ella Hansen now 2 up. Can Handley make another push? Let's go to 18. Katrina first.
And I think this is a hole where Katrina needs to make Eliezer think she has to get aggressive here. Solid shot. This is a beast of a par 5. Okay, now 15. Here's Ella over the water.
Fortunate tree hit, and she will be able to approach for a 3. Can Holland take advantage? Very inside. Gets through everything. It's going to flirt with that OB deep.
I almost feel like Ella has a better run at the basket than Holland. Holland, it's almost non-negotiable. You have to lay that up.
Dixon, can you tell us what the lie looks like there for Holland, and did she go out of bounds?
No, Holland is still inbounds, but she's got every bit of 45 feet downhill looking at the water. Ella's sitting nice, very nice kick off the tree at about 100 feet wide open. Jump putt, baby forehand, she's got options.
Well, a scary moment there is hear the 4 call, and disc comes flying into the tee pad. And this is like just a practice round from another pro getting ready for the tournament. And thank goodness there was a 4 call. As Carey able to be heads up and get out of the way.
Yeah, you just hate to see something like that happen. I'm glad it didn't go the other way. And you're seeing, like she said, no skip. You're going to have to come in with a lot of pace and a lot more angle if you want that thing to flare left like that. Are we going to see backhand over the water? Okay, no, she tricked us. And a really conservative play from Allie. That's just going to be 2 chip shot forehands.
Again, 3 up, 4 to play. No reason to push.
The same as the first one.
Back over to 18. Eliezra down 1. Just chipping into position.
Yeah, this is a very simple second shot. There's not a lot of aggression that you're baited to go for.
So Ella puts it to 7 feet. Mittling's got to go for it here. She's going to rocket this one up there.
Well, there's your practice for the tournament. Big tailwind now. This could seal the deal right here.
Well, and it sounds like Mittling actually went out of bounds. So it's all over. Katrina Allen is going to take the match, and a nice comeback for Katrina late.
It really was.
Carey. She and Smith both inside 10 feet. Holland can win the hole. No, and into the drink.
She did not just do
No
that.
way. I mean, you just can't. Why take the risk there, Brian?
I have no answer for you.
That's
Confidence is the only answer that you can give as she steps up. We've seen her hit multiple 45-footers in tense moments. We look back to Beaver State Fling last year. Just didn't happen this time.
Ella's going to win the hole and send that match to Dormie. Hansen going to be 3 up with 3 to play, and Holland could have simply laid up and have the hole, but I guess decided that she needed to push if she wanted to try to get back to all square.
And also, being a player like Holland, you at least think you're going to hit metal. It must have just been a last-minute just bit of fear that crept in.
So both matches now are Dormie. It's going to be tough to ask 3 straight hole wins from Handley and Carey. Go to 18. And miss from Mittling means that it'll be a simple layup, and Katrina Allen is going to win the match here over Eliezra Mittling and pick up 3 points in this pool. Exciting match, though. Mittling with a couple of exciting C2 putts, and
she keeps showing us the ceiling. It's gonna come. She's still a teenager, but we're seeing some poise in some tense moments. We saw her hit some putts in those must-make situations. And then, yeah, some highlight-worthy circle 2 putting. The stroke is coming along, the forehand's coming along, and like I said with the backhand, we're starting to see the touch as well, which is just great to see.
so Katrina and Owen both picking up 3 points. So Deanne Carey, Holland Handley both need to win each of 16, 17, and 18 to get a tie and pick up a point.
As we watch Ella line up her shot, Dixon, what's the wind doing out there on 16?
It is a screaming tailwind coming up this hill. The problem is that they're about 100 feet back up an alley, and so you're not really feeling it on the tee. And you want to match the angle of the hill as you're coming out, but if you get it too high, that wind is just going to crush you. You've got to really control your nose angle on this one. Being at that blue stake is good. If you could be further, that would be a little bit better, and Holland is trying for that and takes a tiny little bounce and goes OB by probably 3 inches. Wow, what a tough break on the tall grass right there.
Well, that is a costly mistake. Charlie, that could be the match right there.
Could be.
And on this one, there's no OB on the right side, and with a tailwind, this is just a thought, because it's match play. We've seen Ella throw some monster rollers before, and we have the downslope going downhill. I don't know. If I'm the caddy, I might give a little wink and say, hey, come on.
Yeah, but you never know if someone
I think
tried other people.
only if you're very confident that if you do go OB with a roller, that it's not going to hurt you too much because you go OB far down the fairway. Cat Merchant Own getting a little practice in after their match. They're getting ready for the Kansas City Wide Open, which starts tomorrow. 43rd running of the KCWO. 9 a.m. FPO. Round 1 coverage begins here on the Disc Golf Network. Then 2:30 p.m. Central Time for the MPO coverage. Jomez Pro covering the action all weekend as well. Brian, I'm really looking forward to this one. It's been a nice little course preview today watching the match play.
Like I said, the variety here is just fantastic. You got some park style, some true wooded holes, some wide open holes with wind. It's really made for some fantastic match play. I can't wait for the MPO in the afternoon. And Allie is just playing really conservative now. She does not need to do anything special. Deanne is the one that's going to have to play aggressive.
That's pushing towards OB, and that might do it. Yeah, you wonder, Allie Smith coming out of Kansas City, of course, knows the course, but also knows the wind.
Definitely.
You're comfortable playing in the wind if you come from this part of the country.
Charlie, I was at a brewery in Kansas City on Tuesday for the Jomez Putting League, and the amount of locals with these beautiful nose-up spin putts, it's crazy. These are pro-level spin putts, but it's because of these conditions they have to play in.
Dixon, just want to check that it was in fact OB from Holland Handley, yes?
Her drive, correct, was OB. So she's a shot down to Ella right now.
Gonna have to do something special here. Well, it hasn't necessarily been the best day of match play for Holland Handley. Had some nice moments, but also some mistakes. She is the favorite heading into this weekend's Kansas City Wide Open. Those are the current betting odds. You can place your own bets now at nxtbets.com/playdgpt. Would today give you any pause about Holland being the favorite?
I don't know, because some of the decisions she made, I'm wondering, are match play oriented. But overall, some of the mistakes she made in general just weren't great. And the one thing I will say, like Dixon said, there's going to be a day that comes that suits every player's style of play. So everyone's going to have their favorable win that they get to play in. So the person who wins this weekend is going to have earned it a lot. It's really tough. 3 days of just varied golf that you don't get to truly prepare for. It's a nice finishing shot up to the green there for Deanne. Just wasn't quite a clean day off the tee. Wasn't putting herself in position to get those birdies.
Deanne will be putting for a 5. Allie Smith is lying 3. So Smith can just lay up and tap in and win the match.
Dixon, I want to throw it down to you. Last thoughts of the FPO playing match play here at Bad Rock. How do you feel like this course sets up for the format?
Oh, this is a phenomenal course for match play because there's so many stroke swings that can happen. And as you guys have mentioned, there's not a lot of pushes going on today. Winds all over the place, which really creates the excitement that you look for in match play. And the players really have to be able to make some decisions. Hopefully, they're going to go to school on what they did today, because there were some questionable match play choices, which were great if we were playing stroke play. But some of the advantages that they've given to their opponents when they don't have to have been a little bit surprising. So I'm looking to see, as they move on, how they improve upon their game and their strategy, because match play is a completely different animal than what these phenomenal players are used to.
Truly is. Immediate chess match right when it starts, and obviously it's you versus the course. You're not trying to think about the rest of the field when you're playing these long 54, 72-hole tournaments. Yeah, Holland's not going to be able to put that close.
I'm surprised she didn't try to do more to just throw it in, though. I mean, there's...
You look at the body language,
Yeah.
It feels like she's already kind of checked out. Just going to have to pat Ella on the back.
Ella's at 8 feet and likely going to win the hole outright. So she will win 4 and 2. And it could come down to tiebreakers if there are ties in the pool.
Mm-hmm.
So winning by more is an advantage. All Allie needs to do here is put it close, but you can see it's not going to be so easy. It's a decent effort, but it's kind of in that danger zone for her putt.
We're going to get to see the pie pan.
Holland drains it. So that was for a 5. Ella Hansen is going to win the match either way, but can pick up an extra hole if she makes the birdie putt. So Deanne, of course, is going to need this. And then we'll need Allie Smith to miss. So Carrie is in for the 5. And Allie Smith will step up to her par putt to win the match. Yes. Nothing but net.
I've never seen a game winner like that, Charlie. I love it.
Allie Smith is going to win it. It'll be 3 and 2 victory, and Ella Hansen is going to win 4 and 2. So how about that? Ella Hansen certainly wasn't going to be the favorite. We saw the stats at the beginning of the broadcast, how Holland has been playing.
I didn't forget about the pies, everyone. You agree? All right. I did agree with that.
Something about the pies. There's always a little side bet going between Holland and Ella.
Holland is not going to live this down. Ella's going to bring it up often.
So there's your final scores. Scoggins wins it by 3 over Cap Murch. Katrina Allen with a nice late comeback wins 17 and 18 in order to go 2 up. And then we just watched Hansen and Smith close it out. Brian, what are your thoughts on what we saw today and the first look at match play here in 2025?
I thought it was fantastic, and like Dixon said, I think the course with the wind that they played in sets up really well for this format. You can get into trouble really quickly. Also, you can pure a line. We think about hole 12 on this course. You can pure a line like Ella did, but you have to finish the disc really well. So you could find yourself in a frustrating spot for not throwing a perfect drive. So I'm excited to see how the MPO goes this afternoon, but also this weekend, I feel like we've found the home here. There's so many great courses in Kansas City that we've had big tournaments at. I think this is the one for the foreseeable future.
You think any of these matches in particular was an upset today? Would you call it an upset, Ella over Holland?
100%. Ella got the tough match over with. You're playing a round robin. You're playing everybody in your pool, and you know that she's the one that's supposed to win the pool. So now you're good. You have the advantage. Holland has to do great in her other 2 matches.
Whose overall performance today, just from the golf perspective, not even necessarily the match play strategy, who looked the best to you out here?
I'm impressed with all 3 of the players other than Ella. Great putting in the wind. She played a couple of ridiculous crosswinds that I don't think a lot of people could play with confidence. We saw some really nice backhand timing and distance from Katrina Allen. The pump is back, which is great to see. I know she had been incorporating it during the off season. But yeah, I think Allie Smith also did a really good job today. I think she showed off some poise from both sides of the disc, and I wonder what the range is on that basketball putt. That's a little that's interesting, but hit the game winner.
All right, let's send it back down to Dixon Jowers, who's got a little interview for us.
Well, here we are with the competitors in one of our matches, Ella Hansen and Holland Handley. Ella, it was looking bad there for a little bit, and then things turned around. How did you feel about this match?
Yeah, I mean, it was tough. I got off to an early lead, and then, Holland played really well in the middle there in the front 9. So, but, it's match play, so it doesn't matter by how many strokes you lose a hole. So just trying to refocus and throw good shots, and I was able to do that.
Do you take any sort of confidence from this into the weekend, or is this just it's like a practice round? It doesn't really matter for this weekend?
Definitely some confidence. I mean, some decision making is a little different. We had some crazy wind, and I'm not. I know the weekend is going to be windy, but not quite sure exactly how it's going to compare to this. So, definitely take some stock in it, but not like 100%.
Holland, how do you feel about how the round went?
It's too many OBs. They're more costly in match play because every time I go OB and I throw first, she gets to play it for par. Right. And so really felt like I kind of gave away too many easy strokes.
In the practice rounds or any sort of sessions you had out here, was this the predominant wind that you were used to, or was it something different?
No, we had strong winds, but it was the opposite direction. So, I think this weekend it is supposed to be windy, but not quite this windy.
Okay. So, coming off of this, do you go home and eat like a sad bowl of macaroni and cheese, or are you like, forget it, it's match play, stroke play starts tomorrow, I'm the favorite, I'm going to go kill them all?
Can I just have like a happy bowl of mac and cheese? I'm never sad about mac and cheese, if I'm being completely honest. No, I mean, there's good takeaways from this. I liked how my putting stroke was looking even on my misses. So that's been a huge thing for me the last couple weeks. The putt's been kind of so I'm happy with how that looked. Just a little reminder on some of these windier holes, like because it's match play, I kind of have to play aggressive, even if I, in stroke play would normally play for par. But just, kind of a reminder on certain holes, like, par's good on a windy day. So really it'll just be redouble the efforts to keep the disc in bounds, and I think I actually would have shot a pretty good round.
So I did hear a little bit of talking on hole 14 when she laid up to force the hole. Was there a side bet going on between you two?
I mean, I don't know. We'll probably go get lunch after this, like we usually do. But I did make my entire group agree that whoever wins gets to pie the other one in the face. So through the whole season. So you'll be seeing some fun stuff after our match plays.
So there's a pie coming to your face today or at the end of the season?
I'm pretty sure it's today. The pie's coming to my face today. Hopefully you picked a pie I like, so it at least tastes good. Yeah. Shaving cream? Yeah. Not even give me something edible? Bro.
I'm not going to waste a pie.
I mean, that's just double.
At least
I
give me
mean,
a
come
Cool
on.
Whip, dude. At least give me some Cool Whip.
Hey, we can do it later. We can do it tomorrow if you want, right before the round.
So maybe that's some additional footage that'll come to the Disc Golf Network later on this year. But wonderful match between you two. It was very exciting to watch. Some great throws that were made, and we hope you guys have the best weekend as you go forward. Birdies and pars all week.
Thank you so much.
All right, awesome stuff, Brian. We're gonna need to get that footage. We got to get that footage.
I would much rather be pied in the face with an actual pie than shaving cream. I don't want to get shaving cream in my eyes, but a little candy apple or some cherry, that's fine.
Depends on the pie.
What do you?
You don't want a top crust, It's like a little aggressive.
What is the optimal flavor of pie to be pied in the face?
I think like key lime.
A key lime pie, huh? The acidity from
I don't
the
know
lime.
about the flavor. I'm thinking more about the consistency of the pie. Because, I can see the shaving cream. I think they should go with whipped cream. That seems like a good compromise, right?
I understand. You know what? The other thing I want to take away from this, on a more serious note, is I love that they're leaning into this format. They're leaning into the side bets, and they're also taking it very seriously. We saw some serious frustration on their face.
We did.
Both of them, starting out from Holland, midway through the round from Ella, we saw some resourcefulness. They fought back, and that's the beautiful thing about match play. You take a 10 in a hole, it doesn't matter. A loss is a loss, and it's just the same as losing by 1.
Yeah, and so Holland Handley, number 2 in the world right now, has looked fantastic this season. She's in a hole here in the match play championship, and she's going to need to go out and get a win the next time she takes the course for match play. All right, more pie analysis on the other side of the break. We'll be right back.
It's French silk, Charlie.
That's a good one.
My relationship with Suga, it's just like a family. Sometimes they just surprise send me things I'm not even know. When I arrive home, boom, the box.
Such a great product, and Zuka's always there for me whenever I need anything.
After every tournament, I get a call. No matter the results, they're always there supporting me.
They have so many different things that can be a solution for a disc golfer.
That was really one of the main reasons why we partnered, is because I wanted the best of the best.
How do they know I want that? I'm like, duh, that's how the family thinking about you.
It's Simon's throw, 2 behind our leader.
Driving pro tip. That's a sick roll. Birdie. 1 down, 1 to go. And it just started raining.
Test of strategy, timing, and karma. Do you have what it takes? Order your game today.
In the last 2 years, the Power Disc Golf Academy has helped over 12,000 disc golfers improve their game. Our program has proven time and time again to increase our members' performance and ratings. With over 250 video tutorials taught by the world's best players, it's easy to see why our academy is so trusted. To celebrate, we're running an anniversary sale of 60% off the first year of your subscription. Visit powerdga.com and use promo code 2YEAR to join today.
At Pound, the quality of our gear runs deeper than the stitching. That's why we design and build everything right here in the U.S. We source the highest quality U.S. materials to make the most comfortable and durable pack in disc golf.
The number one reason I switched from bag to cart is pretty simple. It takes weight off of my back, easier to play a course.
I realized that the cart became something I really needed when little things would happen. I'd pick up my bag and my elbow would hurt.
Using a cart decreases the bending over, the weight on my lower back.
Decide to go with Suka, and seeing that my sciatic nerve is gone and I don't need to worry. Only one thing I have to worry about to get birdie, because my Suka done it all for me.
At Pound, the quality of our gear runs deeper than the stitching. That's why we design and build everything right here in the US. We source the highest quality US materials to make the most comfortable and durable pack in disc golf.
Welcome inside Tournament Central. Following the first round of FPO match play, Scoggins wins over Kat Murch. Katrina Allen 2 up over Ellie Midling, winning 17 and 18 to close it out. Ella Hansen winning at 4 and 3, and Allie Smith wins it over Deanne Carey 3 and 2. So, Brian, you take a look at the groups, and we start with Group A, which is Holland Handley, Ella Hansen, Deanne Carey, Allie Smith. Allie Smith and Ella both taking 3 points, so they're sitting tied at the top of that group. The other two sitting at 0. Obviously, it's early. This is one of 3 matches they will play. But any thoughts on moving forward in Group A, what we might see?
Well, we just saw the 2 top-seeded players go against each other in Holland and Ella. Ella got the best of Holland. That's a big deal, because now Ella just has 2 easier matches to be the champion of the division and get the highest seed going into the bracket. That's a big deal. But what I do have to say is, throughout this year, match play is going to keep proving to us that it's a unique format where anybody can win. We just saw a lower seed take the higher seed. I think when Holland goes up against Allie or Deanne, I think it's anybody's game depending on the course that they play at. And we're not playing wide open courses for these. We're playing Idlewild, Crokel, a lot of these tough park to wooded style courses. So players like Deanne from the Carolinas, Allie coming from Bad Rock Creek as her home course, anything can happen in this division. So yeah, I think it's going to be a great thing to watch play out this season.
Scoggins, 3 points. Katrina Allen, 3 points. Kat Murch and Ellie Midling sitting at 0. Any thoughts on Group B?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, I you don't want to say you feel bad, but, you know, it was a rough day for Kat Murch. You could see the frustration. She just couldn't quite get the feel for things. The putt wasn't working. The forehand wasn't working. Looking forward to seeing Kat improve, but the one person I wanted to point out was Ellie Midling. 0 points today, but I love how she performed. I love some of the things that she did, the circle 2 putting. I love that she showed off the backhand touch, the forehand. And yeah, Katrina Allen just looks fantastic. I love seeing her come back after the pregnancy in shape, with better form than last year, performing at a high level.
Ella Hansen does get the biggest margin of victory, and that could come into play. If you have a tiebreaker later on, how much you won by will be the first tiebreaker. So Ella Hansen looking good right now. Let's talk about what's coming up a little bit later on this afternoon. We're going to be looking at the MPO matches, and I mean, let's start with the headliner, Paul versus Rookie. When we first found out the match play was happening, and they sent us out the matchups, and we saw that Paul and Ricky were in the same group, and that they would be playing in the first round of match play, I was thrilled, and I feel like this is, get your popcorn stuff.
Well, you listened to them at the last press conference before match play in Music City. They were very excited to beat each other. Both of these guys are like, I can't wait to root for him to fail. And Paul Macbeth sent you a picture saying, I can't wait to beat Ricky with his own disc. I mean, this is unbelievable stuff. Playing for the same company now. What a timeline.
Ezra Aderhold and Matty O will face off as the other pairing inside of MPO Group B. That's going to be a fun one. I mean, like, both of these are tough to predict.
Yeah, well, and with Ezra and Matty O, two different skill sets, too. We have a guy who's going to perform really well out in the open, and Ezra Aderhold, and then also Ezra's been performing better on the wooded courses, but then Matty O is just like the versatile, do-everything kind of player. I don't know. This is just a crazy first day for match play.
Luke Humphreys will face off against Chris Dickerson in Group A, and we've got AB versus Gannon Burr. Well, I mean, it's arguably more compelling than Paul versus Rick.
Yeah, this is the modern Paul versus Rick right now, and it's just awesome to watch these guys kind of take what Paul and Rick built after all those years and continue running with it. It's interesting that one of the best players in the world, Anthony Barella, is also the longest thrower in the world. So yeah, this is just going to be a great matchup.
I'm excited. The broadcast starts at, I believe, 2:30 Central. I'm waiting for my producer to confirm that. Yes, 2:30 Central. So we'll be back with you in about 2 hours for the start of all of that. Thank you so much for tuning in. I don't think we're doing an OTB shot of the day here for FPO, but what was your favorite shot? Oh, I am wrong. We do have an OTB shot of the day. I beg your pardon.
I'm calling it right now. It's hole 14, Ella Hansen, forehand in the wind.
You called it earlier.
It's the best shot.
Let's see. That was an awesome shot. There were a couple big C2 makes from Ellie Mittling.
I'm going to get this wrong, but it's the #1 shot. Yes, I was right. Haha. It's just an unbelievable play on the wind.
And right after Holland goes out of bounds, Ella throws this, and it's just a tough shot to get right with OB tight and long.
It takes a very specific stability of disc to actually play this well. Look, it tries skipping, and the wind says, absolutely not, go away.
Awesome stuff, and Ella Hansen would carry that through to a victory over Holland Handley here in match play round 1. FPO match play action coming your way in a little under 2 hours. We'll see you back here on the Disc Golf Network, and if you're joining us over on YouTube, thanks for being with us, and we'll give you a little discount code a little bit later today that you can sign up, get your first month free on the Disc Golf Network. Thanks for watching. We'll be back in a couple hours for FPO Match Play.